everyone, and welcome. Tonight's concert is a beautiful combination of Mozart and Rachmaninoff. We start with Mozart's Overture to his opera, The Impresario. Now, this is 1786. Mozart has moved to Vienna, the center of the music world, and on the throne is the Emperor Joseph II, who is a great music lover. The Emperor decides it might be fun to have a competition between the young Mozart and the ensconced and exalted court composer Antonio Salieri. So he assigns them each an opera, a light opera, a short opera, a plot of which he has devised and has the competition. Mozart's plot centers around a harried impresario who has to decide who is going to get the starring role in the new opera. Will it be the mature and emotional Mrs. Hart, or will it be the beautiful and young, fresh Miss Silversound? Well, they both audition. To their shock, the impresario decides on neither of them and instead chooses the tenor, Mr. Birdsong, as the star. In this opera, Mozart is entering a new world for opera, focusing on ordinary people, singers and barbers and serving girls, instead of the ponderous stories of heroes and gods. And the competition, who won? Well, the emperor awarded the prize to Antonio Salieri, who may have won the battle, but certainly did not win the war. 2 years after the Impresario, 1788, we find Mozart in a very difficult time of his life. He only has 3 years to live. His fortunes have fallen on hard times. He is out of favor with the court. He has no patrons, no sponsors to present concerts. He is not in good health, and he is very poor. He's moved outside Vienna to have cheap lodgings and has very little hope for the future. Nonetheless, in 1788, in the summer, he writes the final 3 symphonies of his life, 39, 40, and 41. 3 miraculous pieces. You'll hear on this concert the G minor, number 40. And it's as if Mozart has entered a whole new world at this point. In some ways, I find this is really the first romantic symphony ever written. It's as if he is a harbinger of a new emotional content in music, almost as if he's standing in a doorway looking into a future that he is not going to live to see. The piece is fierce, it's intense, it's somber, unexpected, mostly in a minor key, and has become one of his most beloved pieces. It makes us wonder what the history of music would have been, how music would have developed if Mozart had lived a much longer life. Sergei Rachmaninoff was one of the most brilliant students to ever enter the St. Petersburg Conservatory, studying with Arensky and Celotti, but the great influence of his life was his mentor, Peter Tchaikovsky, who helped the young composer and really influenced his artistic vision. In fact, this piece shows that connection between Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff in that it is perhaps the most beautiful piano concerto ever written, with melodies so gorgeous that many years later they were made into American popular songs. However, the piece itself had a very difficult birth. When Rachmaninoff was 22, his first symphony was performed to brutal criticism. He fell into a depression and had very little confidence in himself. He made his living as a pianist, and when the London Philharmonic invited him to come and play his first piano concerto with them, Rachmaninoff said no. He no longer had any confidence in that piece, but he rashly promised the Philharmonic that he would write a brand new concerto, his second piano concerto, which would be much better. Unfortunately, because of the reaction to his symphony, he was having a severe case of composer's block. He could not write a note for 3 years. And as the deadline was looming for the second piano concerto, he was in despair. In desperation, he went to a hypnotist, Dr. Nikolai Dahl. Now, Dr. Dahl himself was a musician, an amateur cellist, and he was determined to help his extraordinary patient. He hypnotized him with the mantra, "You will begin to work on your concerto. The work will proceed easily. Your concerto will be of excellent quality." It worked. The hypnotism helped Rachmaninoff to break through his creative block. He began to write the second movement of this concerto, the first thing that he wrote, and he dedicated the piece to Dr. Dahl, who saved his life.